Hello, I welcome you all. Now, till now, we have completed three parts of this design of PSC girder, that is pre-stressed concrete girder, which is post-tension I section. We have completed four steps in all total. This was our problem statement. You can have a brief revision through the previous videos, that is part 1, part 2, part 3, in which four steps, that is four steps to design pre-stressed concrete girder is covered. Now let us move towards next step, that is step number 5. Now step number 5 is calculation of steel. Now calculation of steel is nothing but we are supposed to determine number of cables that are required. Now you can revise through the question, and it was given that 12/5 Freycinet cables, 12/5 Freycinet cables of FY 1750 ampere to be used. Now you might be knowing what is 12/5. 12 number of wires having wire diameter of 5 mm. 12/5 is nothing but 12 number of wires having wire diameter 5 mm. Now you are supposed to calculate permissible stress in steel. Permissible stress in steel, and it will be 60% of Fy. That is nothing but 0.6 into Fy. Fy here is 1750, hence 1050 MPa. Now from where this value have come, that is permissible stress in steel will be equal to 0.6 Fy, that is nothing but 60% of Fy. IS 1343/2012, clause number 23.4.2, page number 33. From this clause you are supposed to consider this, that is permissible stress in the steel will be 60% of Fy, that is nothing but 0.6 Fy. And I recommend all of you to mention all the IS considerations whenever you are considering or taking any value from the IS code. In this manner, write down IS code, its latest revision number, clause number and page number. This will provide another impression and greater impression to your design. Now let us look into the IS code, what actually this clause says. Now as mentioned here, you can see this is IS 1343/2012, and what clause number 23.4.2 says? It is the clause for sections cracked in flexure. Now it is obvious that we are designing a pre-stressed concrete beam. We are designing, in short, a beam, and beam mostly fails in flexure, hence this check is most important. Prior to that, we have considered permissible stresses in steel as 0.6 Fy, that is 60% of Fy, and here it is mentioned FPE, that is nothing but effective pre-stress after all losses have occurred, which shall not be greater than 0.6 Fp. Effective pre-stress after all the losses have occurred, which shall not be greater than 0.6 Fp, means what? Permissible stresses in steel will be 60% of Fy. 60% of Fy. Now force in single cable in Newton we can calculate as permissible stress into area of cable. Force in single cable Newton we can calculate as permissible stress into area of cable. Again, from where this force we are calculating, that is nothing but sigma is equal to force per unit area, and we are supposed to calculate this force, hence multiply permissible stress by area of cable. Now here permissible stress is nothing but 1050 MPa and area of cable is nothing but area of 12/5 resonate cable. That is permissible stress into area of cable is equal to 1050 is the permissible stress, and area of cable is nothing but pi by 4 into 5 square. Phi is nothing but diameter of wire, and such 12 wires are there. Hence force in single cable will be 247.4 kilonewton. 247.4 kilonewton. Now we are knowing P0 is nothing but pre-stressing force at the final stage, and its value is 1061.41 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Hence total number of cables required so as to carry this much load. One single cable can carry 247.4 kilonewton load, hence we are supposed to calculate how much cables will be required so as to carry total pre-stressing force of 1061.41 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. That is nothing but P0 by force in single cable. P0 is nothing but 1061.41 into 10 raised to 3, and force in single cable is 247.4 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Hence number of cables required are 4.29. Hence rounding up will provide 5 number of cables. Hence provide 5 numbers of 12/5 resonate cables. Hence provide 12/5 numbers of resonate cables. Now there is one important note that is to be kept in mind. Important note: always use P0. Always use P0 instead of PI during calculation of number of cables, because PI lasts for very less time. Hence PI, that is initial pre-stressing force, lasts for very less time. You are supposed to consider P0 value during calculation of number of cables. Though PI is greater than P0, always consider P0 value for calculation of total number of cables required, because PI lasts for very small time or very less time. Now this is the step number 5. This was step number 5, that is nothing but calculation of number of cables. Now we'll move towards step number 6, that is nothing but check for stresses. Check for stresses. Step number 6, check for stresses. Prior to that, PI we had determined as 1248.71 kilonewton, P0 as 1061.41 kilonewton. Write down all the values. Mg, that is nothing but dead load moment, we have calculated it as 150.75 kilonewton meter. Mq as live load moment as 421.88 kilonewton meter. Moment of inertia of entire section as 1.627 into 10 raised to 10 mm raised to 4. Section modulus at top and section modulus at bottom. Section modulus at top is 40.916 into 10 raised to 6 mm cube, and section modulus at bottom ZB is 37.63 into 10 raised to 6 mm cube. Gross area of the section is 214.4 into 10 raised to 3 mm square, and eccentricity is 322 mm. You are supposed to write down all the required values of Pi, P0, Mg, Mq, I, Zt, Zb, A and E. These all values we have calculated in the previous steps from step number 1 to step number 4. Now you might be knowing check for stresses. First step will be check for stresses at initial or transfer stage. First one, check for stresses will be check at initial or transfer stage, that is nothing but pre-stress plus dead load. That is nothing but pre-stress plus dead load. Now you might be knowing the stress diagram for initial stage. You might be knowing the stress diagram at initial stage, or you can go through the videos that are uploaded previously. There you can clear your concept of the stress diagram at initial and final stage, that is concept of pre-stressing. Now this is somewhat stress diagram at initial stage. Here entire section will be in compression. When pre-stressing force is applied at initial stage, stress at bottom extreme fiber can be calculated by this formula Pi into E by Z, and stress at top extreme fiber can be calculated as Pi into E by Zt, and here Zb, that is section modulus at bottom, section modulus at top. Now when pre-stressing force is applied, this will be the stress diagram where tension is developed at the top and compression is developed at bottom. And when moment due to dead load is going to act, that will be nothing but Mg by Zb and Mg by Zt. At that time tension will be developed at the bottom and compression at top. Tension will be developed at the bottom and compression at the top. From where these values have come? You can go through the concept of pre-stressing and numericals that we have covered, and the videos for the same have been uploaded under the playlist pre-stressed concrete. You can go through that. Now we are supposed to calculate resultant stress diagram, that is resultant stress at the top extreme fiber and resultant stress at bottom extreme fiber. Hence sigma top, that is stress at this top extreme fiber, will be Pi divided by A minus, since it is in tension, Pi into E by Zt, plus since it is in compression, Mg by Zt. Now here from previous calculation from step 1 to step 4, we have determined Pi, P0, Mg, Mq, I, Zt, Zb, A and E, all the terminologies. You can substitute all these values in this equation. We are knowing Pi, gross area A, eccentricity, moment due to dead load, and section modulus at top. By substituting all these, you will get the values minus 1.19 Newton per mm square. Sigma top is 1.19 Newton per mm square. Now what does this minus sign indicates? This minus sign indicates the section at the top is in tension, that is section or top extreme fibers are in tension. Now sigma bottom. it will be Pi by A plus, since it is in compression, Pi into E by ZB minus mg by ZB. Substitute all the values Pi, A, E, ZB, mg and ZB here. You will get stress at the bottom, and it is 12.529 Newton per mm square. Now since it is positive value, sigma at bottom will be 12.529 Newton per mm square, and hence if we join these two, we will come to know that at initial stage top extreme fibers are in tension and bottom extreme fibers are in compression. Similarly, we are supposed to give check for stresses at final stage, that is B, check for stresses at final stage. Check for stresses at final stage. Now this final stage is nothing but pre-stress plus dead load plus live load, or you can say at service stage. At service stage. And stress diagram for the same you should know, or you can go through the concept of pre-stress, and whose video is uploaded. This is the stress diagram. Now at final stage, we are supposed to consider P0 by A, P0 by A, P0E into E divided by ZB, P0E divided by ZT. Mg is nothing but moment due to dead load divided by ZB, mg by ZT, mq by ZB, mq by ZT. Now all these values we are knowing: P0, A, E we are knowing, ZB section modulus at bottom, section modulus at top, dead load moment and live load moment, all we have written down at the initial stage of step number 6. Now we are supposed to determine or give check for stresses at final stage. Now sigma top, that is nothing but stress at the bottom extreme fiber. Stress at bottom extreme fiber we are supposed to determine. Sigma top, stress at top extreme fiber. I would like to clear sigma top, stress at top extreme fiber, and this is nothing but algebraic summation of all the stresses at top extreme fibers. Now when pre-stressing force is applied, section at the top will be in tension, section at the bottom will be in compression. Due to dead load moment, section at the bottom will be in tension, section at the top will be in compression, and due to live load moment, section at the top will be in compression, section at the bottom will be in tension. Hence sigma top will be P0 by A minus, since it is in tension, P0E divided by ZT, plus, since it is in compression, mg by ZT, plus, since it is in compression, mq by ZT. Substitute all the values of P0, P0, E, ZT, mg, mq, all these values will get stress at the top as 10.356 Newton per mm square. Now since this value is positive, it indicates top fibers are in compression, that is sigma top. Top fibers are in compression. Similarly determine sigma bottom, that is nothing but stress at bottom extreme fibers, P0A plus P0E divided by ZB minus mg by ZB minus mq by ZB. You should get clear why we are using plus and minus sign, plus for compression, minus for tension. and by substituting all this value we get minus 1.173 Newton per mm square. That is nothing but minus 1.173 Newton per mm square. Hence, bottom extreme fibers are in tension. In this way, our will be stress diagram where bottom extreme fibers are in tension, top extreme fibers are in compression. This is the stress diagram for final stage, that is pre-stress plus dead load plus live load, or we can say at the service stage. Now we are supposed to give the check for FC. We are supposed to give check for FC, that is stress in the concrete. Check for FC at initial stage. Sigma T is equal to, at initial stage, sigma T is equal to, we are supposed to give check for FC. At initial stage, we have determined top fiber stresses are minus 1.19, that is it is in tension, and bottom fiber stresses are 12.529 Newton per mm square. These are in compression. Similarly, for final stage, sigma T is top extreme fibers are in compression as value is positive 10.356, and bottom extreme fibers are in tension at final stage, value is minus 1.173 Newton per mm square. Now, check for FC means what? The sigma T value should not be greater than 10% of FC1. This sigma T value should not be greater than 10% of FC1, and FC1 we have calculated as 17.06 Newton per mm square, and 10% of this 17.06 Newton per mm square will be 1.706 Newton per mm square. Hence, as value is not greater than 1.706, our check is satisfied. Similarly, for sigma B, FC1, stress at the bottom extreme fiber should not be greater than 17.067 Newton per mm square. And at final stage, sigma T, sigma T should not be greater than FC2, that is nothing but 18.5 Newton per mm square. And sigma B, that is stress at bottom, should not be greater than 10% of FC2. That is nothing but 1.85 Newton per mm square. Now, as these values are not greater than FC2, 10% of FC2, hence our check is satisfied. In this way, we are supposed to give check for FC at initial and final stage. Sigma T, sigma B we have calculated previously, and sigma T at initial stage should not be greater than 10% of FC1. Sigma B at initial stage should not be greater than FC1. At final stage, sigma T should not be greater than FC2, and sigma B should not be greater than 10% of FC2. In this way, we have completed step number 6. In this way, we have completed step number 6. Till now, if any doubts are there, you can comment in the comment box or go through the notes, and link for the notes is provided in the description box. In the upcoming part, we will move or start from step number 7 or next step in view with designing of pre-stressed concrete post-tension beam. Thank you very much.